Hello, Bree from Scratch friends. My name is Beth DeClerc. I'm really excited to have you guys with me today on our homestead. We're working on a project, and it's kind of like most homestead things, it's an ongoing process. It's never really completely finished. While I'm walking you over to where the project is happening, just a little bit of background on our homestead. We are located in mid-Michigan, and like Bree, I also have 7 kids. My husband Tommy and I have been on this property for this is our 4th summer that we've been here. This is our main garden plot, which I'm not going to show you right now. We're going to go over through the lilac bushes here to our other garden space. It is very hot out today, so we're actually getting this project started kind of at dinner time. We're going to be eating a little bit of a late dinner, so I'm going to get all of my tools and materials collected. Then we'll eat dinner and get some work done as it starts to cool off. So this big strip of wood chips here is our fruit trees that we planted the first fall we were here. And what we are doing in this space is we are making what I am calling an orchard garden. We got a huge load of wood chips from the county tree service over the winter. Earlier in the spring, we put down a really thick layer of wood chips, and there is a layer of cardboard underneath to start killing off all of the alfalfa that was just around these trees. Now we are going to be interplanting some extra things kind of among those trees. So this whole strip here is just going to be one big perennial space of food. I need to go get all of the plants that I've been kind of keeping alive in my main garden close to the hose. I need to get some shovels. I need to get some children to help me. And yeah, then we'll get started kind of laying it out, and I'll show you what we are including. I did already yesterday bring over a whole wheelbarrow full of some freshly sifted compost. It's very fun to play in. The soil out here is very compacted. It's very sandy, so we will use the compost with each plant kind of as we transplant, just to give it a little bit extra boost of some nutrients and organic matter. The reason why I've been holding off planting all of the other parts of that garden area is because we do not have water run to that side of our property right now. And to drag enough hoses over there to reach is just honestly not practical. It's not something that I can do regularly. And it's been extremely dry this year, like it has in other parts of the country as well. But we finally ordered irrigation so that way we can set up a water line from our spigot near the house that we just have to turn on, and it will automatically water everything over there at once just by turning it on and off. So it's finally safe to put things in now that we have that stuff to install as well. Okay, so this is my little kind of nursery inside of my main garden. This is just a quick glimpse of my garden by the house. And over here I have some herbs like some chives and some oregano and yarrow and thyme. I also have an elderberry bush that a friend gave me, and I have some blueberry bushes, which unfortunately are at varying levels of death because, like many gardeners, I do kill plants from time to time. But we will see which ones still have enough life that they will make it once I put them in. I also have some rhubarb cuttings. Actually, I'm going to go and get a wagon so that I can load all of those up. But I also have 2 more fruit trees, We had one tree that died this past winter, and then we ended up kind of extending the space past where it originally was, kind of all the collection of trees. So I have one more tree that I'm going to do to kind of fill in the new space that we have. Where is the wagon? Is always the question when you have children. Oh, there it is. You never know what's going to be left. I am probably going to have to take 2 trips because that wagon is loaded and I still have probably a whole another load's worth to go over there. The other thing that I need to get is a bucket of rabbit manure. We just added rabbits for meat to our farm this spring, and their manure is awesome to add to the garden because it doesn't have to be composted. You can put it in fresh. You don't have to worry about it burning the plants. Okay, so here is load number 2. And I forgot, there's one more thing that I also want to add over there. This hosta bed I put in our first spring here. And though it's lovely, it's kind of a place where the dogs like to lay because it's nice and cool against the garage. Plus, they could really use some thinning out and splitting. So I am going to grab some of these to add over there as well. The great thing about hostas is that they're very hard to kill. So you can literally just rip apart the roots, and you could do it into, this is kind of like one plant right here. You can plant on its own, but I've even accidentally cut the roots before and had them come back fine. So from one plant, you can get 30 of them by the time you separate them all. All right, I think I got one of each variety that I had over there. So that should be good for now. Last but not least are my 2 peach trees to bring over. Whoops. All right, I've got my 2 new fruit trees there and there at the very end. This is where one had died, and down at the end there is where we extended our original line of trees. Those are both peach trees, which I'm excited about because I only have one of those. I have everything kind of categorized over here on what it is. So if you have done any reading before about permaculture, you've probably heard of the term food forest, which is essentially what this is. And if you haven't heard of it, basically the idea is to create food in layers. So your uppermost layer, your tallest layer, that's what your fruit trees, or it could be nut trees. Then you kind of have your medium layer, and then you have your kind of lowest layer or your ground level. So for my medium layer, mostly what I'm going to have is blueberries, although the elderberry and the rhubarb does get pretty decent sized. And then my lowest layer is going to be a mixture of herbs and the hostas, and eventually I could put some of our strawberry runners over here as well. I forgot to mention this, but I do actually already have some comfrey plants growing under each of the trees, just cuttings from my main comfrey plants in the other garden. And Brie is actually the one that I learned about comfrey from originally, probably 5 or 6 years ago. But what that does is that comfrey, if you don't know, has an incredibly deep root system. So it will draw minerals from way, way down in the earth that no other plant can reach. And what you can do is you can hack the comfrey plant back to ground level 2 or 3 times a year here in Michigan, and then just lay it down as a mulch. And as it breaks down, all of those minerals and nutrients will get fed to the plants kind of at surface level. And yeah, it's like a super awesome living mulch. I am just going to go through and kind of lay out where I want all of this to go, try to spread them out evenly. And like I said, this project isn't going to be done after I plant these. It's just something that we will continue to add on over time, but you have to start somewhere. So getting things plugged in now is the next step. I am going to start with the blueberry plants. I did lose one of them, but I think I still have enough to have one go between each fruit tree. I actually had the perfect amount, even though I lost one, because when I originally bought them, I did not have that elderberry plant from my friend. And that is filling in this space at the very end, because even though it is a bush, they can get very, very large, almost the size of a fruit tree. So I want to give it plenty of space. Now, I think I have enough herbs to put one kind of at the base of each fruit tree. And then my hostas will be one of my bigger fillers. I'll be able to put those even more spread out because I have so many of them to split. But I'm going to get these sad looking herbs set out now. All right, all the pots and plants that I have are laid out and ready to be planted, but it is very hot. So I'm going to go in, cool off for a minute and eat some dinner, and then I will come out with my planting crew once it's cooled down a little bit and get this stuff in. All right, I have acquired my help. I actually just have my little boys. My big boys, which are the real help, are getting the rabbit poop and a couple more shovels. I can get this done. I am sweaty and exhausted, but we finished, and I'm very excited to have that done. So next will be to get the irrigation lines run, but for now I'm going to go take a shower, maybe sit by the campfire with my people. Thanks for letting me hang out with you guys here today. I hope that you'll come and follow me on my channel on the DeClerk Homestead or on Instagram at Beth DeClerk. Have a great night.